In the soft, warm glow of twilight, two little sisters, named Ruby and Holly, stood in their garden, their colourful pyjamas looking like flowers themselves. Against the deepening green of the grass, the air was still and sweet, filled with the scent of night-blooming jasmine and the gentle hum of sleepy bees. High above them, perched on the branch of an old oak tree, a little squirrel with a fluffy tail and bright, curious eyes chattered a friendly hello. This was Squeaky, their special garden friend, who often visited them just as the sun began to dip below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange, pink, and purple. Tonight, his chatter seemed more excited than usual. A series of quick, cheerful chirps that sounded like a secret he was eager to share. Ruby and Holly giggled, waving up at him. "Hello, Squeaky," they called out in unison, their voices soft as the evening breeze. Squeaky twitched his nose, flicked his magnificent tail, and with a final insistent chirp, began to scurry down the rough bark of the tree, his tiny claws making soft scratching sounds. He didn't stop at the bottom of the tree as he usually did. Instead, he scampered across the lawn with purpose, pausing every few feet to look back, as if to say, "Come on, follow me." Intrigued, Ruby and Holly tiptoed after him, their bare feet cool on the dewy grass. Squeaky led them past the rose bushes and around the bird bath, his little body a blur of motion in the fading light. He finally came to a stop at the base of a patch of ferns, his nose twitching furiously as he pointed with a tiny paw towards the ground. The girls knelt down, peering into the shadows of the fern fronds. There, nestled amongst the damp earth and fallen leaves, was something extraordinary. It was a tiny seed, no bigger than a ladybug, but it wasn't an ordinary seed. It glowed with a soft, gentle light, pulsating like a tiny sleeping heart. A warm golden radiance pulsed from its center, casting a magical shimmer on the girls' astonished faces. They had never seen anything like it. It felt ancient and full of wonder, a little piece of starlight fallen to earth. With delicate fingers, Holly gently picked up the glowing seed. It felt warm and smooth in her palm. Ruby quickly found a small empty patch of soil near their mother's lavender plants. Together, they carefully dug a little hole with their fingers and placed the magical seed inside, covering it tenderly with earth. They waited, holding their breath. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, the ground where they had planted the seed began to glow, the light growing brighter and warmer. A tiny green sprout pushed its way through the soil, then another, and they grew at an incredible speed, twisting and twining upwards towards the starry sky. Leaves unfurled in shades of silver and gold, and then a large bud formed at the very top. It swelled and grew, and with a soft musical chime, its petals began to open. A magnificent, giant flower bloomed before their very eyes. Its petals were like spun moonlight, sparkling with 1,000 tiny points of light, and from its heart, it released a swirl of glowing butterflies. The butterflies were not like any they had ever seen. Their wings shimmered with all the colors of a dream, leaving glittering trails of light as they fluttered through the air. They danced around the girls' heads, their light wings brushing against their cheeks like a soft kiss. The entire garden was bathed in their ethereal glow, transforming it into an enchanted wonderland. The dream flower swayed gently, its calming scent a mix of honey and stardust, making the girls feel wonderfully sleepy. Squeaky, perched on a fence post, chattered softly and gave them a little wave with his paw, as if wishing them sweet dreams. Ruby and Holly yawned, their eyes heavy with the magic of the evening. Hand in hand, they turned and walked slowly back toward the warm, welcoming light of their house, their hearts full of wonder. The glowing butterflies followed them to the door before fluttering back to the sparkling flower, ready to guard their sleep and fill their dreams with magic until the morning came.